Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Factorio. So, at the end of the previous episode we were working on a new iron mining outpost and we got interrupted by the end of the episode. So, we'll start by running back over and just finishing off what we were working on there. So we had one mining drill down and we've got another 3 of them handy, so we'll just 4 of them even, plonk those down, get those connected up, get some power going to them with one of the substations. And there we go, there's iron flowing along, and then the inserter puts it into the cargo wagon, and then the train will go off. The iron will be unloaded and put into the smelters. At the moment, it doesn't go anywhere from there, but I'll be sorting that soon enough. But the thing I'm going to do first is just make a couple more additions to the outpost, get some more stuff mined. See, we've got some science done there. We are very rapidly running out of research that uses... that doesn't use blue science, because at the moment our blue science production still isn't up to working non-stop to keep things going. But anyway, we're getting all these mining drills in. We've got another 5 of them here that we're plonking down, and I'm just working out a nice spacing for them because it's not perfect. There's little bits sticking out of the deposit that need to be caught, but it works out fine. So we get that connected up, and once we have the power going, we will have 10 mining drills working in this new outpost, which is excellent. It's a huge increase in our current iron production. The loading system is a bit awkward because I've got belts coming from both directions, but I'll sort that out later when it's more urgent. So I did a bit of refueling in the train there. I put some wood in it because I never have any coal on me because I'm always putting it into the smelting furnaces over in the main area. But anyway, we get back to the main base, looking at how the supplies are running and things like that. I'll just wander on over here to grab some more steel because that's what we've run out of. That was one of the reasons that I came back. We need to get a lot more if we want to be continuing to work on things. So the reason I got that steel was to make some furnaces, electric furnaces, because we need to actually smelt the iron that's coming through. So it's being unloaded here, but then of course, and I'm just checking on the map there how many mining drills there are because I forgot. There's 10 of course. And so for that I'm going to make 10 electric furnaces because that will... it's basically a 1-for-1 ratio in terms of mining and smelting and things like that. So I'm just getting those crafted and things. I'm also crafting some inserter arms so that we can get the ore actually loaded into them because we've run out of those in our hotbar. Let's plonk some of those down. Unfortunately, we've run out of circuits and advanced circuits, meaning that we're having to craft everything manually, which is an absolute pain, but it has to be done unless we want to run back home and grab a bunch of the stuff, and it's not quite worth the time to go do that now. So we're just crafting these last 2, and it takes a bit of a while. So I just get the rest of the stuff set up while I'm waiting, and then I run around and grab a bunch of iron because we've run out of it. It's convenient, really. It's all built up here, and I need some conveyor belts to get it back, and conveyor belts are made of iron, so I just need to grab the iron, and then I can use it to make the conveyor belts to deliver the rest of the iron. So anyway, we get one of the furnaces made, and there we go, and I also get the some conveyor belts going to connect that up, but the last one is still taking a while to do, so I start putting down some conveyor belts, but of course I've run out, so I need to craft the electric furnace before I can craft any more belts, so I just stand around for a bit, and there we go, finally made. So we now have 10 furnaces working on smelting iron there, and now that that's going, we can try and connect it back up to the main line. So I'm just taking along this this line, and then I make some space in the belt for it to unload because I want things to be sort of neat. I'm going to make some more tweaks later just to make things better, but for now it'll just do things like that and that'll be fine. So we get that connected up, and there we go. We've got a nice big boost to our iron production, and there's also a nice big build up as well to give it a big kick start. So I do some resupplying of copper and iron and so on, because we always need to do that. I really need to get logistics set up. I think I've got all the research done now, so I just need to actually build the necessary components and get them down, and then I'll be able to actually get the stuff delivered straight to me instead of having to constantly run and grab it. But anyway, you can see the circuits production has exploded thanks to the big influx of iron, so it's all flowing along and building up nicely. But it doesn't build up at the smart inserter production because it's so the consumption of circuits is so insane for smart inserter production that it's actually managing to consume it all as it arrives, which is annoying. But it is enough to significantly increase the smart inserter production so that we can increase the blue signs production, which we really need to do because we're going to be relying on it a lot more soon enough, if we aren't already. So there we go, I've just doubled the blue signs production there, which should be nice, and you can see it's not built up that much, and at the moment we're not researching anything that uses it, I don't think, so it is a bit of a pain. But anyway, making our way back over to other places. So I spotted that the circuit production has dropped again, and that's because iron production has dropped, and I've worked out why all the furnaces have shut down, because I haven't refueled them with coal for a while. And of course, this being a temporary system which we are now beginning to phase out, I can't be bothered to actually get an automated coal supply going, so I do still have to do it manually. So I quickly dump a bunch into the chest to get it all loaded back in and get things moving again. It's not so much of a problem now because we do have a bunch of electric furnaces working there already, and we also have our new smelting area in the south, so that's all good, but we still want it to be running nicely so that the supply can be as much as possible. And also we want to get that that iron deposit mined nice and quick so that we can clear all that area out and put something else in it or whatever. So anyway, watching as the iron flows back in again, the increased supply arrives, and then I just watches it to see how far it goes, and it sort of sometimes it gets back to the end of the line, but then gear production like takes it out in big lumps, so it's a bit awkward in that sense. But anyway, checking everything else, and it all seems to be running fine. The copper is built up all the way back to like where the some of the belts cross over, like halfway along, and so on, doing some signs there. But anyway, I've decided to work on the next bit of production, which requires me to go over to the oil outpost. So I hop on board the train, make my way over, and here we are, and I start crafting a chemical plant, and you'll see what we're going to do with it in a minute. I don't know why I like to sort of keep things a mystery until the moment I do them in this series. I could just tell you that it's a lubricant chemical plant. But anyway, we start getting this piped over to the main base. Unfortunately, as the game currently stands, there is no way to transport lubricant or the heavy oil that makes it without using underground pipes, so I do have to get these pipes going all the way back to the main base. And it's a bit of a shame, but it's probably something that's going to be fixed in a future update. Maybe not the next one, but maybe the one after or something like that. Having sort of oil tanker cargo wagon things that you can have. And once that's in place, I could, if this series is still going at that time, I could make some tweaks so that instead of being carried along by these pipes, the lubricant is actually loaded into the service train that we have there, so that it can be transported in a better way. Anyway, we're slowly making our way along here, crafting the underground belts as we go. And unfortunately we have to go through this this copper deposit, which is a bit of a pain because it's going to be in the way of all our mining drills and things. So I'm just trying to work out how to get it through, because there's all sorts of stuff in the way. I need to find space to actually get the pipes to pass through. But then I suddenly realised that the power system's gone horribly wrong. All the mining drills are running super slow, and after a quick check of the power system, I find that the accumulators are out. They were barely charged during the day, so they ran out very quickly. And I guess this is because I've increased the number of things. Well, I've added in that whole new iron system, which has made things move a lot quicker. So the power consumption has gone up, meaning that the solar panels were busy powering everything else rather than charging up the accumulators to run overnight. So I make my way over to our solar panel field to go and add in a few more squares of panels. I've got enough for 5 squares here, and it'll make it like a nice 5x5 grid once I'm done with that. And then I'm not sure whether I should like carry on expanding this or move on to a new one, because I can't keep it as a square now because the sea's in the way and things like that. But I would like to keep things neat by having like grids of 5 around the place. But anyway, we get all this put in, get all these squares in, and that should hopefully be a good fix to the system. You can see the solar panel production is shot up there in the power grid, and hopefully that's enough to keep the accumulators, well, to get them fully charged during the day so that overnight they will run fine. So we make our way back home, getting more random bits of science done and so on. I think, or actually I think I just misclicked and opened the science window that time, but we've been doing plenty of science so far through the episode. So anyway, back to working on the on these pipes and trying to get them to sort of get in between all of the production line areas. And I'm having to sort of get this one to go underneath the like between all of the inserters in the copper smelting area. Of course, this copper smelting area is temporary. Once this this bit of whatever you call it, this deposit is run out, that'll all be destroyed. But for now, it's in the way. But I decided to go for a different approach and come from the direction that I'm delivering the lubricant to, because that might help. So I'm putting it down here now and trying to get it to weave through all of the conveyor belts and things like that. And I'm a bit annoyed with myself, really, because I was supposed to make this whole base future-proof, and I did a lot in terms of like the supplies of copper and iron and things like that, but I forgot about pipes, and I knew that I would need to have lubricant and sulfuric acid delivered into the base before I started, and I just sort of didn't take that into account and didn't make any space for it. So now I'm having to pay by sort of having to shoehorn in the pipes in places. And also we're having to shoehorn in another thing, because I built this I built the engine production, and I didn't build electric engine production, and it does need to go next to it because it uses engines. I mean, I could have it delivered by logistics bots or something like that, but that would just be silly, really. So what I'm trying to do is have it set up next to it, and there's not very much room for it. And one of the things it needs is lubricant, and that's the reason that right now that I'm delivering the lubricant pipes to the area, because I need to get it to the electric engine production. And in the end, excuse me, in the end, I have to actually move everything around so I can get the pipes delivering. So I have to use a long-armed inserter to go between pipe production and engine production, and then have the pipes going between those two so that they can get to electric engine production. And it's a bit of a mess, and it's quite annoying, really, because so far everything's been really nice and neat and like scalable infinitely and stuff like that. But with this one, it's just a mess of a couple of assemblers and things like that to get it working. So anyway, with that done, we need to actually get the pipes going back to meet them at the other end. So I have to start going along here, and unfortunately what I'm now going to have to do is use some underground belts to actually make room for the pipes. So you can see I'm taking out the belt here, putting in underground belts so I can get the pipes going, and it's really messy and annoying, but there's not that much I can do as an alternative. But I get it out of being in the way of the belts as quickly as possible. The problem was I couldn't do it earlier, because then it would be mixing in with the sulfuric acid pipes, and that's a recipe for disaster. So I managed to get it going in between different belts so that there's no problem there, and then I can get it going all the way back to meet the pipes at the other end and work out how I'm going to position things there. So I'm slowly working my way along and crafting all of these underground belts, and I always underestimate how many of these belts I need, because I don't want to craft more than I use. In the end I actually do, because I forget where I went up to with it. But I like to craft them as I go, just because then I'm less likely to have them spare in my inventory. But it means, well, it's just a pain to craft them, because you need to craft 10 pipes before you can craft the underground pipes. But anyway, we get it all connected up, and there we go. The lubricant is now flowing through the pipes. But before we go and check that electric engine production is going, I decide to run over and grab some more coal to refuel everything again before we have more problems. And you can see the chest is nearly filled up again, so it's good that I came along when I did. Checking the power system again, and unfortunately it seems we still have a problem. The accumulators, despite being fully charged, have run out, suggesting that not only do we need more solar panels, we need more accumulators as well. So anyway, I'm running through supplying more coal to all of these furnaces here, and also into the copper system. So that's all done, and then we can I decided to clean out my inventory a bit. I've got a lot of raw wood that's just sitting there not doing anything, and then a couple of random bits that I dump in the other chest. You can see there's a mining drill run out there as well, so I do some tweaking here, and I move that up over to this area, get this connected up to the system. And after a quick inspection, I decided I'm going to add a bit more to it, because at the moment we don't have enough mining drills to keep all of the furnaces going, and we might as well do that. And we do want to get this outpost mined, so we get some science done there. And I'm trying to find something that doesn't use blue science, but I think we have now run out of it, so we're now working on logistics stuff, even though I haven't got the system set up yet. So anyway, doing some tweaking on the mining drills, and I got 5 feeding over into the new copper smelting area, and I go to set up the next bit, but I find that we have a problem with this underground belt being here. We need to position our mining drills in a certain way so that it all connects up nicely, and unfortunately that means that it's all a bit awkward and sort of shoehorned in, and we're going to have to use underground belts to get things to move around other things. But unfortunately this is the price we have to pay for having this underground belt plonked in the middle of our of our copper mining area. But anyway, I was in the middle of that when suddenly alarms start going off all over the place. You can see the alarm saying there's like a dozen things being destroyed, and it's over at the new iron outpost, which I haven't defended. I didn't put any guns in it or any walls or anything. So I run in and take out all the biters, but unfortunately the damage is done. A huge number of belts have been destroyed, a lot of the power grid has gone, and most of the mining drills have been destroyed as well. And it's entirely my own fault really, because I just sort of, I built it and then just wandered off and did other things without making it so that like the biters wouldn't be enticed to run over, because it was totally undefended. It was making a huge amount of pollution. Clearly it was going to be the first target for a biter attack. But anyway, we get things rebuilt, everything's reconnected and so on. We're crafting a substation to get the power grid going again. Just putting all this stuff down and making it as if the problem never happened, though of course it did. So there we go, all 10 mining drills are working once again. Do a bit of refueling on the train as well, because one of them's run by wood still. Really need to fix that. And then I make sure that we don't have the same problem again by putting down a bunch of guns. 5 of them, each with 10 ammo. That should keep the outpost well defended, and there shouldn't be much destruction if any biters run along anytime soon. But anyway, you can see on the map and on the mini map that the pollution cloud is expanding very rapidly around that the iron outpost. And anyway, I make my way back over to the base to go and check on things. Running along all the lubricants flowing along the pipes nicely, but I go back to what I was working on before, which is the copper supply. And I want to get it so that there are 8 mining drills feeding the 8 furnaces, because of course that makes sense. So I get those all positioned and in place, and the belts go all over the place, but they do work, and I suppose that's the important thing. So we get that going over there again, and that should be working nicely soon enough. So I go over to check on the iron, and things are a bit fiddly here. There's a couple of drills that are not working because the belts are too full, which is a bit annoying. But there's not much I can do unless I start like putting in blue conveyor belts or something like that to speed things up even more. But anyway, we had a mining drill just run out there, so I had to go and plonk that down over in this part of the deposit, and we've nearly got it all covered now by mining drills. Not quite, there's a bit left on the edge, but soon enough we'll have that covered, and then hopefully not long after we'll have it all mined, and then we can clear out all this mess from here and so on. So anyway, make my way down to the smelty area, see how things are going there. Copper seems to be going alright, maybe not as good as it could be, but I've grabbed some coal and it's time to go refuel the train. Unfortunately it runs off without me, but I managed to get both trains fully fueled, which should keep them running a nice while. It's still not perfect because it's not automatically loaded, but then this is a temporary train because once I've got the proper system set up with the multiple stations and like signals and things like that, that's going to be being replaced and so on. But anyway, time to go work on the power problem that we had, because of course I spotted that earlier and I haven't done anything about it quite yet. So I'm just getting out the right number of solar panels, and then I'd nearly run off without getting accumulators as well before I remember that we do need those. And I also start crafting a substation, but because we still don't have the some advanced circuits in our inventory, we're having to craft them manually, which takes an absolute age. So I get all the way to the outpost and start putting in the accumulators, and it's still not made, and I get half done before the thing's finally crafted, and then I can plonk that down and get everything connected up. So there we go, we've got a nice big square of accumulators now, and I'm trying to decide on what to do with solar panels, whether I should set up a new square or not, but in the end I decided to just extend the one I have and have it as a rectangle. Why not? And get that all sorted out. We've got enough for 6 squares here, so I do it in a bit of a weird way, sort of at the side, but it sort of defines the edges of the rectangle, though it may not be a rectangle in the end. I may change it, it doesn't really matter. But you can see there's a sort of a 3x3 hole there in it that I'll fill in soon enough, probably next episode. I nearly got hit by the train there, don't know if you spotted that. But anyway, we get the car repaired because it hit some trees earlier, and then we make our way back over to the production area because well, I do a quick inspection of circuit production. Seems alright going on there, but at the moment we need more copper. But anyway, I decide to resupply and so on and so forth because we're coming towards the end and I don't have enough time to actually work on anything else, so I just get my inventory back up to a good speed. So get all the steel and the iron and copper, and then also circuits, which I haven't done for a while, but seeing as circuit production has improved a lot recently, I feel happier about stealing off the line. And then also we need to take a bunch of advanced circuits so we don't have any more trouble with that. And then finally gears, so it just speeds up crafting and so on. But anyway, now I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.